Fueled by Deathcast.
So you have to try stuff. You have to throw shit at the wall. I don't agree with everything that that it gets done with certain characters and things. But as you said, just move on, right? And wait until it interests you again. There's so much stuff out there, and there's so many great teams of creators out there. You will find something that speaks to you. And even if this thing now suddenly doesn't taste good, I'm sure you don't like every meal that's been served to you, or every album has been perfect the way you wanted it to be from an artist or anything. Nothing's like that in life. So yeah, man, you got to roll with the punches, and there's enough out there to keep everybody happy, man. But you got to try stuff. You got to keep reaching and trying and exploring.
It's the truth. And I tell people all the time, frequent your local comic shops, because we live in such an amazing age of comic books now. When you were breaking into the business, even again, it was the big two always, Marvel and DC, and it still is to a big degree. But creator-owned stuff, the small press stuff, there's so much more at everyone's fingertips. You don't have to go, to the dingy basement of the convention to try and find this stuff. Right. It's so much more accessible that if you don't like, your favorite Spider-Man comic, your favorite Superman comic anymore, it's okay. Go try some of this other stuff over here.
And there's so many great creators out there.
Oh, yeah.
The talent pool is deep.
It's awesome.
And it is awesome. It's stiff competition, which is why I always draw like I'm trying to get a job, man, because there's just too much talent out there. If you get lazy, you're done for, man. Somebody's going to take your spot because, there's just too much talent, man. Strong talent.
It's true.
I don't look at it too much because I'll get intimidated. Two things will happen. Either I'll get intimidated and it'll freeze me up, or I know what I'll do. I'll borrow stuff from it. I'll steal from it, and I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? I want to keep my own thing, and if I look at that, I'll admire it and I want to borrow it, right? And before I know it, I'm no longer my own voice anymore. I've worked hard to get my own voice, but there's so much talent there. I don't want to look at it because I don't want to have to. Oh my God, look at what they're doing. I'm not that good. I got people fooled that think I'm good.
Well, you definitely have really created your own voice, just like a guitarist creates his own sound. You've really created that with your art, and that brings me to the theme of this show. We all want to leave our mark on this world before we inevitably leave it for good. Spoiler alert: we're all gonna fucking die. Sorry,
I'm aware. Yeah.
But I mean, like
I'm working on it though.
We do want to leave our mark on this world, and you've been, gifting us with a lot of your creativity throughout the years. And I just got to ask, what fuels you to keep going? What fuels you to keep drawing and doing what you do?
Well, the joke is bills, but that's not really true. I don't have many bills. I'm really lucky. I don't know, man. I mean, it's just I still love illustrating a story. I guess it boils down to that. The only thing that has changed for me, because as I've gotten older, things do change. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
You don't have quite as much battery power, and so working as many hours a day is not as appealing anymore, especially when you see the road ahead of you is shorter than the road behind you. Then you go, do you really want to spend every waking moment at a drafting table when life is going by you?
Right.
So that's the only change that has happened, is my perspective of maybe I want to slow down a little bit in how much I produce and how dedicated I am to staying in that chair so many hours a day. That's the only thing that changed. I love it just as much. I can't imagine doing anything else for a living. I mean, I love drawing, and getting a script is so much fun because it's like I see a movie roll in my head, and so when I read it over and over again, I watch the film over and over again, so I can choose my edits. That's a good scene. How can I tell that on paper? Okay, I can't do it all that way because I only have this many panels, so I got to leave some stuff on the floor, cut the film up, and there's just a pleasure and how to bring that script to life in the best possible way. How to make those characters alive. What emotions am I going to give? What body language am I going to do? What setting? I mean, it's still, I don't know if you can tell, I'm getting excited talking about it. It really, really is a fulfilling thing to me. And that just hasn't changed at all. Not at all.